We'll just welcome everybody to the second edition of Guerrilla Tactical Calls, featuring none other than the infamous Mr. Jay Jones, Josh Jones,
Yes,
and
sir.
myself, Jordan Phillip. So today, we decided to talk a little bit about career choices and prioritizing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like right now, I know we're all kind of at a pivotal point in our careers, trying to figure out which way to go, which direction to head.
Right.
So, yeah, if you want to just share, Josh, about your thoughts on um, the route, which route to take, the different options, I'll let you take it.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Like you said, I think those go hand in hand. Uh, Prioritizing and career choices, pretty much,
Right.
because it's difficult for some people, such as myself, to pick what career that they want to go into. And I believe that the right career isn't really planned. I think it comes to you being because you never really are going to figure out what you're good at until you get into something, uh, and then you figure out, hey, yeah, I might be very good at something else. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you kind of reach at various tasks or opportunities. Uh, but yeah, that being said, me personally, I started. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I pretty much, like a lot of young brothers, reached to the streets and kind of try to get my money. The black market route. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So, because I like to sell. Actually, in the beginning, I didn't think that I was gonna be able to sell. Actually, I'm very talkative, but at the same time, I'm real reserved. So it was initially something that I've never thought about doing. Go out and sell bootleg movies or things like this. I mean, I've sold drugs and things like that. You know,
Right.
so that kind of came natural, but yeah, I figured, hey, one of the older dudes came to me and gave me a proposition and told me that he was making money off of selling bootleg movies. So I was like, all right, at this time, I want some fast money and quick money, just like a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of actually going through with college and saying, hey, I think that I want to be an IT technician or I want to do finance management or project management or something like that, which a lot of people do. Instead of doing that, I just said, hey, I want the fast money and I want to be able to build on top of that and then have my own business one day. God willing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm sure everybody who's been keeping up with this, the movement is just the seed is being planted right now. But
Oh yeah.
right now, your big focus is actually getting certified, right? As a
Right.
certified personal trainer.
Right. And like I said, I got older, I just realized the things that I enjoyed doing, and from high school are the things that I'm reaching back towards doing now.
Right.
And rather than going down a career choice like to go to school and take business classes, which I took a few. But instead of going down that route, I wanted to be hands on, man. I just wanted to envision the world the way I wanted to see it and experience it. You know what I mean, firsthand. I'm one of those people that likes to experience everything. I want to do everything. So my head is here, there, and everywhere. Well, at the same time, I'm actually in the streets. I'm actually in reality doing real shit. You know what I mean?
Right. And the crazy thing is, a lot of times, like, to be honest, and I think we kind of talked about this last time, to be honest, sometimes, number one, taking those college courses in business are completely irrelevant to the real world. And another point is, a lot of times, if you did take those classes, it kind of takes some unlearning, because if you actually paid attention and tried to pick up what they were teaching, you'll quickly come to the real world and realize that that had nothing to do with actually, you
Right.
know,
Right.
systems in business. So you might as well start with the blank canvas and just learn directly from the real world.
Yeah, and building on top of what you're saying, pretty much that's how I envisioned the world at 18. Once I was graduating from high school, that's how I saw it. I saw it like, do I want to go through the motions like a robot and figure out that what I've been learning is something that I don't want to do? Because to be realistic, I didn't enjoy school. I didn't enjoy sitting down and learning something that I didn't want to learn. I wanted to learn business.
Right.
I wanted to be a salesman. I knew that of some sort. And
Right.
being a creative mind like yourself, I wanted to be able to, touch real people, make real money, feel the money with my hands. I wanted to make some walk around money, as they say. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So,
Staying
so
active, yeah.
yeah. But I think it's beneficial to do both, man. I think it's beneficial to go through college, in a way.
Sure.
If you
Sure.
think that what your trade or your your goal is, if it's reachable and it's
right.
huh?
Specific, maybe like engineering
Right, right.
or
Something. Well, anything. If it's tangible and you see that it's very obtainable for you, and you already know that you have a task or a talent and skill for it, go for it. You know what I mean? But
right.
for a lot of us, we don't know until we go out and experience things. So I just didn't want to waste my time just going through classes and things like that. Now the problem with doing what I did was that, I tried to experience things, and I got the butt end of it. You learn the hard way is a pretty real quote that that people say all the time. You want to learn the hard way. I've learned everything the hard way, man. But if you don't, but I built on top of that.
Right.
I built on top of that, and I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Learned a lot getting
yeah.
kicked in the ass, man.
Right. So it is, as long as that's what, making mistakes is not a bad thing. Actually, making mistakes and failing is a good thing. The only bad thing is repeating those same failures and mistakes. You know what I mean? It's
right.
Make that mistake, because that is necessary to make those mistakes. But
right. And a famous person said, if you don't sacrifice something, it's not worth doing. If you're not sacrificing something to gain, if you don't, in other words, if you don't put all your marbles in something, how do you know if it's gonna work or not? You know what I mean? You got to be willing to lose, man. You got to be willing to sacrifice everything in order to gain something that's even greater than your initial plan.
Right, definitely. So, and on that career, that's what, like, as far as a career goes, I still, both of, you know what I mean, where us and our circle is approaching 30, at the age of 30, and now it's kind of like, I couldn't, if somebody were to ask me right now, what do you see yourself doing as a career, I'm not sure if I could even answer that, because it's like, there's so many different careers out there, but I feel like almost creating a career of my own, like basically, I guess that's the life of an entrepreneur, right? It's not fancy as it sounds. It's actually a lot of long, lonely times, but that's a path I feel like I'm headed down, and it's worth worth the struggle.
You're going the fashion way, right? Okay. Yeah, it's definitely worth the struggle, I'm one of those people, man, that I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't like to sit for a long time at an office desk and do a bunch of tasks that I'm not pretty much willing to put my all in. You know what I mean? I do look at myself as a hard worker, so my work is going to, I think my work is worth me doing something that I want to do. Man, a couple years ago, I told myself, because I've done over 30 different jobs, man. Uh,
And yeah,
and
yeah.
that goes from security guard to valet, the shuttle driver, the truck driver. I think less than 2% of the world population has actually touched some of the things that I've touched in the past 30 years.
Right.
In a sense, I've learned a lot because of that. It does the down part about that is that it shows inconsistency. So if you were to look at my resume, you would say this guy's crazy. But at the same time, the experience and the gain that I've gotten out of that is that I've learned a variety of skills and understanding. And I told myself a couple years ago, I said, you know what? From now on, I'm not going to do anything that I don't want to do. I made a pact with myself.
Yes. So, I hear you on that, definitely.
So ultimately, sum it up real quick. Ultimately, I truly believe in following your goal, and going through like these experiences, and then letting that turn you around to what you think that you can do the best. I mean, out of those 30 jobs, I've realized a lot about myself. I mean, that was not a down. There's not the gain was higher than the fall. For the lack of a better word.
Definitely.
And now I can say, hey, I'm good at driving trucks. Hey, I've seen the country. I've experienced what people go through in Atlanta, Georgia. I've seen how people, buy bootleg movies in Atlanta, Georgia. And I've seen how people dress in this place and that place, and how people pick up on certain things, and how I can capitalize off of the demand that city has to offer, and just the differences in the culture and the traditions of this country has molded me into a multi-thinker now. So
definitely,
I
could see that. Yeah, I could see that from you. Knowing you from back now, I mean, we go back like over 15 years or something.
Oh yeah,
but
kids, man.
I can see the growth in you. I could see a big, like, kind of a change in you since you traveled the country, and you went on the road. Like, that really, it seems like something you kind of had a key turn in your mind. You've been, ever since we started with the limousine company, like, we've been kind of moving more towards like the business type, of lifestyle. But I've seen you, you've definitely been changing for the better. Definitely
like you said, the business side of it. I got a chance to experience these different positions and career choices, and it forces me now, as you grow older, to dissect the business aspect of each one of these jobs. So that is a class and course in itself, experiencing and learning the business hands on. You know what I mean? You can go to ITT Tech and you can take criminal justice and forensic science, and you can touch the material. You can touch it, and you can do this and that. But what's better than actually going to an apprentice-like situation to where you're actually doing the job and learning in reality? See what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So I think that's what I did, as opposed to actually going to school and sitting down at a desk and writing notes based on what a teacher tells me. I actually experienced different things and walked through life. And I didn't write notes, but I took mental note of a lot of things. And I don't think that it's not a waste of time. I think I've gained a lot of benefit out of that. And like you said, I did drive limousines, and I learned the business with you. You picked up a lot of the business aspects of the transportation business, man. So.
Yeah, I mean, from the inside, that's what you were working from the inside, sharing information with me. We were doing research.
Right.
I mean, it's just like, in any career, that's what I feel like. You can't fail if you're willing to work.
Right.
Like, if you're willing to work and put the time in, there will be tough times no matter what. Even when things are going good, there are going to be tough times. But I mean, career choice wise, if you want to do something like be a business owner or whatever it may be, it's like as long as you keep working, you won't fail. The only way you can fail is if you stop working.
Right.
That'll guarantee failure. Definitely, that'll guarantee failure.
Yeah, you got to be willing to put that work in, like you said, man. That's a very big part of it, man. Is actually doing the work. If you're lazy, you're not gonna accomplish anything, man. If from a plumber to a businessman, you know,
right.
You got to be willing to put that work in, man, and you got to work your ass off, man. And me doing these different jobs wasn't a matter of me not having work ethic. But I think me doing these jobs, like I said, I don't like to do things that I don't think will benefit me spiritually, physically, or mentally. I think that, I'm not willing to give my time. I think that I'm always constantly thinking that there's something better that I can be doing with my time. There's something, that I can be crafting. And like I said, man, I figured out the things that matter the most to me. Now I want to kind of move into the physical fitness because I think since high school, man, I've been a physically fit guy. I played basketball, football, ran track. So I'm kind of going back to my essence now, and since it's something that I enjoy doing, it benefits me physically, mentally, and emotionally. I'm now going to go and try to make that a career choice and try to help other people's lives, man. And there's so much benefit in doing that, man.
Big time. And I mean, I'm a number one. You know what I mean? I'm the client before the client. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the thing, I have like a crazy vision of where I could see, your career path taking just that alone. Like when you're a person who's, extremely physically fit, a people person able to share that with others and be willing to share that with others, then that is a career. That is a career. Coming to a desk and being chained to a desk to the point of where, and I used to work at Farmers. This is a funny story.
Yeah.
We used to work at Farmers, and one of the guys, I saw a guy sprint to the bathroom, use the bathroom, and sprint back to his desk. I saw another guy grab the trash can from under his desk, just joking, messing around, and he's like squats over the trash can, and he's like, can't leave desk, must keep working, shit from desk.
Must work for food,
Yeah, it was funny at the time, but looking back at it, like, it wasn't cool. Like, thankfully, I was terminated from the position. They let me go due to performance issues, which I may have secretly spurred on myself because I really didn't want to be there. But I mean, that's the career that a lot of, if students are out there going to school for just a general degree, like some kind of degree that's not engineering or not setting you up to go to medical school, basically those are the only two I could really think of. Engineering or maybe being an accountant if that's what you really want to do. But if you're not doing something specific, sign out right now because the loans, student loans also are a burden
and
when a young person is trying to stand up.
Yeah, and that is not just the loans that are being sacrificed, man. You're sacrificing your time on top of your money. And a lot of these people, they go through school and then they don't get the career choice that they originally planned. So, do something that you're happy about, man. That's what I've learned. I think that was my ultimate lesson, man, in life. I learned.
Definitely. Definitely, yeah. And that's something you could wake up to every day, right? Like when you're making a career choice, you're gonna think for how many ever years we're gonna be.
Hey, can you let me out here? Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, I mean, it could be right now for us. I mean, we could be here another 70 years. You know, there's a chance. You know, being 30 years old, we have clients who are with us who are 97 years old, still driving around, head full of hair.
Yeah,
like, there's people out there making me to 100.
Yeah, so, the time doesn't stop until your heart stops, man. You know, and on top of you know, figuring out what you want to do. You want to do physical fitness. You know, you're going to need the tools and the essential skills. But yeah, some of those customer service tools that I acquired to be able to, I can utilize that in my fitness training, being able to contact and communicate and relate to clients based off some of the experience that I've experienced in the job market. So
right. And sales, that's what I mean. A lot of times, career choice wise, sales is looked at like in a way which I feel like it's been poorly portrayed. Like sales, they look at it funny, but to me, out of any skill you can pick up, sales would probably be the most important. Like, because it's sales, everything is selling, to be honest. Whatever you're doing, if you're in an interview, the reality is you're selling yourself, right? And I mean, when I was working for those nursing homes, like, I had a salary which was set, you know, and I sold my life. He said, I'll give you $80,000 a year, but that's what it felt like. Like they want your soul for that. So in effect, you're still selling something. You're selling your time. In effect, is what it is.
Yeah. So if you are a weak person, and I'm not just saying that everybody that are going through 9 to 5s are weak people. I mean, if that's what you want to do, you know, that's what you're set on this earth to do, then that's what you're set on this earth to do. But for some people who feel that they're here for a bigger cause and they want satisfaction and gratification out of their career, of course, you'll start out in your career and you probably won't like it for a little while, but then you'll grow into loving what you do. You know, but I think that the ultimate what you get out of it should be self-gratifying. You know what I mean? You should get something out of it.
If you feel that, if you feel that calling inside, don't turn that down, right? Don't ignore it, right?
Right. Yeah,
it won't be pretty either. Like
you never know where it's gonna come from. You know,
right.
But when it comes,
career,
you know it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, careers provide stability in the sense of that corporate type of job, you know, where you're guaranteed a paycheck regardless of your personal performance, which is nice, but it can make you get a little lazy. Is how my personal experience was when I knew that there's a check coming to save me every 10th and 25th.
So tell me this: if you think, so tell me this. So what you're saying is that if you're doing the job and you're not feeling up to that task or that particular occupation, then you're not going to be giving your 100%, are you?
Exactly. You may not even be giving 50%. You may be doing just barely enough to finish whatever the routine task is.
Right.
And then just back off, you know?
So what's the point of people doing this then? What is the point of people not going someplace day in and day out in a certain specific time period? And, I mean, what are they doing that for constantly if they're not enjoying what they're doing? Let alone accepting what they're doing. I mean, this becomes your life. But what the answer is, I believe that people are afraid to fail.
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
That's
so
big.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty much the bread and butter of the reasons why we do a lot of things, man, because people are afraid to fail. So
Right.
they'll just reach
Right.
on to the closest thing. Or, I've talked to people who said, I went through school, and I didn't even like the courses that I was taking. I was just doing it because my parents told me to do this, or they're saying because this job is hiring, so I got into IT because IT is the new wave.
Right.
But they don't enjoy what they're doing. So, ultimately, man, if you want to think on a deeper level than that, if you're not enjoying what you're doing constantly and consistently, and this becomes you don't enjoy yourself. So you can't. How do you like yourself? How do you look yourself in the mirror day in and day out and not even like your own self?
Right. Right.
And this is
Which
something
for
that I
some
personally.
odd reason, yeah, it's being accepted, right? Not liking yourself, right? It's being
Oh,
accepted.
right.
Like that's the norm.
Yeah, that's what society's become, man. People just trying to be accepted, or they want people to accept them, man. And instead of just being happy with yourself and then reaching on to things that mean the most to you, you know.
Right.
And
Right.
then you look at the greats like that died, man. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy,
Mhm.
a lot of people. I mean, names go on and on. I'm not even gonna begin to try to list, but these people died doing the thing that they most believed in. And Martin Luther King said, if you know, if you're doing something that is not that you want to die for, it is not worth something along those lines. It's not life isn't
Right.
worth
Right.
living if you're not living for something that you're willing to die for, something along those lines.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
I hear you on that.
and I strongly believe in that. I know you strongly believe in that because
Big time.
man,
Big
you
time.
followed your heart and the career choices that you've attempted.
Right. Right. And it's not an easy road. That's what. Again, it's like people, need to realize that. Like they see a lot of the end products from like guys who knocked it out the park with whatever companies. Even if you just take some of these ones around us, whatever, Facebook, Amazon, like nobody knows the countless sleepless nights and canned foods that those guys ate to reach their visions. And I mean, like you said, there's countless names.
Oh yeah,
We couldn't even name all the people who've gone through that.
right. But if you see the ends to what they crafted, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, man, the things that they accomplished, man, are still visible today. You know what I mean? So it's not
Oh
like
yeah.
they lived for no reason. Man, they lived
Right.
for a
Right.
reason, man. So
Right. Real purpose. That's real purpose. There's no chance anyone could walk in those guys'
no,
footsteps, but even to walk in their shadow would be
yeah, it can't even be duplicated. Yeah,
right.
but
Right.
so that's the point, man. More so very little few words. Do something that you want to do.
Hmm. With purpose, right?
With
Find
purpose.
something which you could wake up in the morning and want to go do, right? Like
Right, right. Something that you're willing to die for, man. You know, uh,
definitely.
and also you want to do something that you would do even if you weren't getting paid. That will help to
Right.
improve your performance.
Right.
So
And that's what.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, I was gonna say that's what we were talking about yesterday or a couple of days back. We were talking about this. The original guy from The Pursuit of Happiness. His mom said to him, Chris Gardner, the one Will Smith played, the real Chris Gardner, Will Smith was reenacting. His mom, Chris Gardner's mom, always said to him that she always had a quote, and she would say, "Nobody's coming to save you. There's nobody coming to save you."
Hmm.
Like that's the thing right now. Like, shit, we're standing in a field and nobody is coming to save us. Like, the only person who can save you is you. Like, there's a wheelbarrow full of bricks and rocks and things in it, and like you just gotta pick that bitch up and get to moving it.
Rolling, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and something that's self-gratifying, once you put in the work and the effort, man, and then you see the byproduct of your work and your ethic, man, it will enhance your quality of life, man. You know what I mean?
Big time, big time. All the work never goes unrewarded. Every seed that's planted will bear fruit.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jordan, so now that we figured, kind of how one, to a certain extent, I touched enough about the career choices, but I believe I just want to talk about how do we prioritize or put ourselves in the position, our daily routine, what have you, so that we can better prioritize. Because you can't really follow a career choice unless you have something set and planned. Like a step A,
right.
B, C. You have to have now that you figured out your career choice, you have to put yourself in a position to be able to navigate straight to that.
Right. And that's something which I'm still, it's a every day. It's a work and a work in progress.
Right.
But I'm kind of seeing that's what I mean. I remember before. I think I used this analogy how when the owner of those nursing homes was they'll make the financial forecast for the year with all the numbers from all the expenses. They would create it saying how much they expected to spend in the entire year on gloves, diapers, on nurses' payroll, on electricity, water, every single facet of the business. They would forecast how much money they think they would spend so that they can figure out how much money they would make. So even if we move to not money, and move to like physical fitness. Right now, this year, I want to put at least 10 pounds of solid muscle on. So the same thing is, if my big goal for the year is 10 pounds of solid muscle working backwards, that means I need to put on about a pound a month. You know what I mean? So everything is kind of like working backwards to create that plan. So no matter what it is, like we said before, if you want to make 120 grand in a year, you want to be a six-figure earner, you need to focus on making 10,000 a month. You need to focus on hitting 2,500 a week.
Right. So
down to the day, down to the hours,
Yeah. So, so you got your long-term set in place, and then now what you want to do to achieve that long-term goal is divide your long-term goal into short-term goals, so to speak, or.
Exactly. So the short-term goals, it's all those. That's what I was reading or watching a video recently. There's a guy on YouTube. His name's Julian Blanc, and what he had a new video which over the course of 4 years he showed his video blog, which he shoots and like does seminars across the world on similar, like self-improvement. And he said it's all the 1% that add up over the years. Every day we're making decisions that we consciously or unconsciously are making, but all those 1% add up and they produce a product. Every single time we go through that drive-through and eat that shitty food, that's 1% moving our health in the wrong direction. Every time we eat a nice healthy meal of lean proteins and vegetables and drink a lot of water, that's moving us 1% in the right direction. It's constantly those 1% adding up.
Yeah, right.
And if you take a look at Brandon Carter these days, that's who, we constantly are looking at just to be like, wow. I mean, within two and a half years, I think, at this point, he allowed all those 1% to bundle up in the right direction. And then once you keep moving in the right direction with those 1%, it's to just snowball. So again, going back to career choices, even if you do take some career which you're not necessarily happy with, but hey, there are times where people need to just pay the bills, kind of a thing. And there's nothing wrong with that, to just keep food on the plate. But in the long term, with a bigger vision, do that. Whatever job you're doing like that, if you are in a position where you're working for somebody else, do that job to the maximum. Like, I mean, it should be to the point of where your supervisor looks at you and can't imagine working their position. Yeah, right. And not having you. Like, make yourself extremely valuable in whatever position that is, even if you're at Wendy's or whatever, McDonald's. Like,
the best burger flipper that I ever seen.
Yeah, I've had people who served at the Wendy's we used to work at. There's like a shift supervisor or something there who, when he gives you your food, he makes you feel like he's giving you a steak dinner or something. Like, it's just Wendy's.
Right.
But the service you get along with it is like some steakhouse dinner kind of service. Like, that guy's not going to be in that position very long.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? He's going to move up quickly.
So whatever you do, put 110% in it.
Right. That helps with the prioritizing.
So whatever you are, you want to be the best at it.
Right. Right.
Man,
everything.
Sweep up. If you're not even a burger flipper at Wendy's, then you're just a sweeper at the end of the night, man. Sweep the hell out of that floor, man. You better make sure it looks spiggity span, because you want to be that. You want to be that addition to the staff that they can't see themselves without, man. They'll be like, man, Josh sweeps the floor so good, man. He makes it look spotless up in here, man. Without him, we can't keep up that same type of quality, man. You got to make yourself an all-star on your own team.
Exactly. And there's actually a good example of that from the company I was with before at Rockport Healthcare Services. The CEO of that company, which is now operating over 80 nursing homes in California and assisted living facilities in Texas. There's a couple also. That CEO, I mean, it's just a huge company, unreal. That CEO started at a nursing home as a housekeeper.
Wow.
Like 30 years ago, or maybe longer. It could have been like 40 years ago.
Right.
He's an older guy. He's like in his 50s. But he literally started as a housekeeper, had just a crazy positive attitude, kept himself up to housekeeping supervisor. From there, he jumped up to, I believe, an AIT administrator and training position, then got administrator position. And over the course of 30 years plus, all his 1% have now put him at the top of an empire, like as CEO. So it's possible, no matter where you're
started
at.
From the bottom like this,
huh? Yeah, and that's really, not some, dainty, blinking kind of a lady boy in the camera from Canada. You know what I mean? This is really starting from the bottom.
Really
you know
starting from the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure that at his bottom, he learned the tools that was necessary to get him to the top. At that bottom.
Right. Right.
So
in every career, a positive attitude will take you places. In any career, you can't fail with a positive attitude. Again, no matter what you're doing, if you're just a secretary, you won't be a secretary very long with a positive can-do attitude. And excuse makers will stay exactly where they are.
Right. So yeah. Putting your all and investing your all in whatever you see
as the job that you want to do, man. So
Mm-hmm.
back to prioritizing, you want to be able to see things as if you have a step process to it. Even Alcoholics Anonymous
Sure.
has a step process.
Right, right.
So you want to climb that ladder, man, but you want to make notes. You want to document your thinking process as well as your goals. I
Yep.
find personally that writing notes on a daily basis and trying to accomplish those notes help.
Huge, right?
Yeah,
Huge.
very huge. Not just for memory type of deal, not just to memorize, but to document your pattern to that success
On paper, right?
on paper.
Right.
I write notes, man. I mean, I even write poetry, but in a way that is documents my emotions, and at the time it's similar to a diary. That's how I write, but I'll keep them, and I can look back and say, hey, that's the type of mind state that I was in at that specific period in my life. What was I doing? And then I'll probably get back to doing some of the things that were beneficial to me at that time period. So I like to use the word document when I'm speaking about writing notes. Document your life and your goals. You know what I mean?
I agree with that big time. And the crazy thing is, I've heard so many times from guys like, I mean, Eric Thomas. I don't know if you've heard of Eric Thomas. Again, Brandon Carter.
No, I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, I'll send you a video of him and everybody out there. Eric Thomas is like a YouTube sensation. Again, started from nobody, left his job working as a professor
Right.
at a university to start his own motivational speaking company. And he's just knocking it out of the park right now, probably doing I think you may not be able to even get him in a room for less than $20,000 for about an hour. But what they say is when you write the goals down, it has you'll find yourself looking back at those goals a few years later, like, wow, I just did that. I had exactly what I wrote down. So there's something to that, definitely, writing it down.
Yeah. And accomplish those, man. Yeah, set the goals, man. Set the list, accomplish those, and teach them to, to other people or what have you. But yeah, setting whatever is important to you the most, try to accomplish that. Yeah,
definitely.
Knock them down, man.
Yeah. So again, with this year, kind of an interesting thing. What I thought we could also follow is and implement, which again, I'm telling you, Brandon Carter, I got it from him. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. We set 1 year goals, but get them done in 3 months. So we're playing in quarters, 2016, let's play in a quarter that, by April 1st, we need to have a year's worth of work done. Whether that means we're going to put out 2 tactical calls a week, we're going to put on 10 pounds of muscle in 3 months, whatever those big goals are, we need to go after it like a savage, like we're hungry. Because the reality is, it's still, society kind of can make you feel really comfortable, but if you really think about it, we're out here on our own,
Oh, yeah.
All the tools are around us to get it. Now it's time to wake up, turn on, and go after it.
Yeah. Grab on to everything that you can that'll help you in your process of progression. So and that's important, man. Progressing, man. You don't see yourself progressing, whether mentally, physically, or work related, man. It's not worth doing. You're
right. Always be progressing.
Yeah. You're deflating.
Right.
So yeah, set goals, man. Knock them down.
I found that in 2012, I wrote. I was there, and I was going to business. I took a business 101 course, and what I learned was writing 100 notes. Oh, this may have been an idea that I got from a book called How to Be That Guy, which is a really good book. If anybody wants
I need to check that out.
Yeah, How to Be That Guy by Scott. Don't remember his last name, but
Okay, I'll check it out.
It was a pretty good book. It shows you, as a businessman, how to separate yourself from the competition, how to make yourself unique in a sense, and more marketable. So what I took from this is his note taking. He said notes are very important, obviously, but he said try to write for yourself for the beginning of the year a list of 100 to-do lists, 100 things that you want to do for the next year. So I sat down and I tried to write 100, but I ended up writing about 60 on my to-do list.
Wow. Are these like tasks?
He said break it down into tasks and goals. So it can be a short-term goal and a long-term goal. But if you have your mind set on it to be accomplished within a year, then you'll find that you can do something that you initially planned for long-term in a short period of time. But just writing things on paper and seeing it gives you a mental. It plays on your brain, man. It goes into your subconscious.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know, and then some way somehow, man, something similar to that secret. You know, if you can visualize it, man, it can actualize itself, man.
Definitely.
So what I ended up doing, I wrote 60 on my to-do list. By 2014, this included things like travel the country, go to Atlanta, pay back some debt. You know what I mean?
And you literally did it, right?
Literally.
The following year, right?
The following year, those things I accomplished. All of those things on my list.
Unreal.
So, man, I mean, even though I didn't see myself get to like the plateau that my ideal plateau, I accomplished in one form or another each one of those things that I wrote down on that list. So,
man, that's inspiring right there. That's really, that's real right there.
You can only progress, man, and you have your mindset on doing something, man. You can do anything. You just have to first do the first thing, and then that's tell yourself that this is what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Verbalize it, and then follow through, man. Follow through with it. So I guess that's a touching on prioritizing. You gotta set priorities, man. Priorities. Sometimes it's hard to be organized, man, in this world, man. There's a lot of shit going on, you know what I'm saying? A lot of distractions, a lot of bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
A lot. That's what the information age, right? That's what we're in, the information.
Oh, yeah.
It's information overload right now.
Yeah, but just having information doesn't make you an intelligent person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right. True. Very true.
Google at our heels. You know what I mean? Somebody wants to walk down the street and ask, a bystander, what was Albert Einstein's IQ? I mean, all you got to do is Google it, man.
Right. No need to memorize anything like that, right?
Right, exactly. But what's essential is qualitative knowledge rather than quantitative knowledge. You can know a lot of things, but how well do you know those each and individual things? And how important is it to you? And,
Definitely.
So I think that we should try to learn and have a quality of knowledge, man. So we pick something that we like and we want to do, or that we're good at, and then we try to perfect that. And that goes back to saying what you were saying as far as putting your 100% in. How can you put 100% in some shit that you don't want to do?
Right. And you're only a piece That's what, and again, there's some people who don't mind forever carrying on in that way, but to me, I cannot envision myself just being a piece of a larger machine and just being like, and once the piece somehow doesn't fit, being removed out and thrown to the side, because I've seen it happen too many times to kid myself and think that couldn't happen,
Yeah. Right.
And it's not even out of fear or anything like that. It's just, that's reality, that's life, and that's the way the world is kind of changing. And, if we don't change along with it, then we'll get left behind.
Oh, yeah, just get left, man. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think those are some really good thoughts and, ideas on career choices. Again, that's what, I don't know, Josh, if you want to just give everybody kind of your final thoughts on, how people can approach their careers, being that, of course, everybody has bills to pay and, things of that nature. But what,
right.
What's your kind of the big idea that you would share?
So to kind of sum up my thinking, just set an example. Right now, I'm currently with you, Jordan, Philip, trying to start up the GIT Guerrilla Intense Training. Yeah, so the personal training business, while at the same time managing and maintaining and attempting to market to a mass audience our comedy, suit and tie entertainment, and at the same time trying to manage my sales skills, because that's how I eat, selling products, CDs, movies, and things of that nature. So what my last thought is that I'm asking myself daily is, how do I put these things together? How do I put these things together so that it can all be a part of one ultimate unit? You know what I mean?
Right.
Similar to a basketball player, like if you play basketball and you find that you're no longer in college playing college ball, you're now in the NBA. You made it. So now what do you want to do? Do you want to be the best player in the NBA? Well, you're going to have to sharpen your skills. Now you have to work on, you used to be a good shooter, but you couldn't dribble. You couldn't, take it to the hole and dunk on somebody. But now you want to tone those skills. Now you want to be a good shooter. You want to be a good dribbler. And you also want to be a good passer. You know what I mean? You want to sharpen your arsenal so that you become one good-ass player.
All around, yeah.
Right, all around. So, like, I always look at myself like a Renaissance man. I don't want to just be known for doing one thing, and I want to do everything, man. You know what I mean? I just want to do everything. So,
right.
This has benefited me, and it's kind of been my setback. Going through life, experiencing a lot of various things. But so now, what I need to do is put it all in one box and say, how can I pick this box up and take it all? You know what I'm saying? And distribute this to the world so that people can benefit. And, obviously I want to get paid. So can I do this to the certain quality that is worth being paid for?
Right, that someone would actually pay you for, right?
Yeah, that someone is actually willing to give me their money for it, to be entertained, to want to come to me to work on their physical fitness, because that's a big, huge responsibility, man. Somebody's giving you their body and saying, hey, help me,
Right.
So I can put all these things in one box, and I want to be really good at it, and I want to be able to capitalize off of it. So
definitely,
that's what we're working on. So, like you told me earlier, we got to put out. You got to put out to get back, man. So we're trying to
work on quality material, but just give it to the audience, man. Serve these people, man. You know, and
Right,
that's what it's
right.
been about, man. Serving people until
That's exactly, yeah.
until you reach the image that you initially wanted to, or better, you know, and then then everything from there is maintenance, man.
Definitely,
That's
definitely.
pretty much
And
it,
that's what
Jordan.
the crazy thing is, and I'll just touch on that real quick before we wrap. The crazy thing is, for everybody out there, whatever we've been doing as far as suit and tie is not new. It's been going on, and I think until either both of us, until we go to the grave, we're going to be doing the same thing. So it's not just something that is a quick, flashy way, like a lot of things out there on YouTube now and stuff is just a quick, flashy way of getting views and things like that. Like, this is really just because we enjoy doing it. This
Right.
Guerrilla Tactical Call right here is because we enjoy doing it. Like,
Right.
at the end of the day, if no revenue were to ever flow back to us from this, I'm still like, and I'm sure you feel the same way, still happy to be doing it and like you said, providing service to others, because that's really what we're all here for, serving each other, like providing service to each other.
Right. Yeah, and that's the service industry for you, man.
Definitely. So yeah, again, with the career choices, find something that you can see yourself doing, like doing every day, wake up to, excited to do. And if you're not there right now, just like Josh said, keep asking yourself the question. Don't ever stop asking yourself questions of how can I improve? How can I get to this point? As long as you're asking questions like that, you're headed the right direction. And no matter what you're doing, again, if you're just working as a maintenance guy, housekeeper, a cook, a chef, a busboy, waitress, waiter, do everything with a positive attitude. That'll heavily accelerate progression.
And purpose. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Do it with purpose.
And purpose, definitely.
Or don't do it at all. Shit.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think, did you have any other thoughts, Josh?
It pretty much sums it up, man. It sums it up, Yeah.
Okay, so we'll wrap with that. And, Jay, I'll hit you back in a second so we can just have a little recap. But, all right, thanks, folks, for listening again to another edition of Guerrilla Intense Tactical Calls. And we will see you again.
See you again. Keep on listening. All right, Jay.
All right.
Peace.